If you're at rock bottom, good. It means the old script has finally failed. I moved to Hawaii 2.5 months before my girlfriend was going to follow me, but only 2 months from when she broke up with me and broke my heart over text message. And 2 weeks later, I found out that she was already seeing someone else. During that time, I got an apartment for us. I was beaten. I was broken. Once we broke up, I started spiraling. As you can probably imagine, I started going out a lot. I couldn't be alone with my own thoughts. One day, I woke up face down in the hallway outside my apartment, of that apartment that I got for us, with an old lady who happened to be my neighbor shaking me and waking me up. I remember it so incredibly vividly, and it was a weekday morning. I was supposed to be getting ready for work, or maybe even on my way to work by that time. As I glanced up, squinting through my bloodshot, hungover eyes, I saw the sun coming up in the hallway of the stairs. I'll literally never forget that vivid image of the sunrise coming up through the window. And in a way, that was this moment that I knew I needed to change now, because the path I was on ended badly and soon. Hey everyone, I'm Jay, and I'm leaving out some of the middle part here because it's long and you'll hear it in other videos and content that I create. But now I'm a certified and award-winning coach in NLP and neurotrauma therapy, and I help people out of the exact same spot, hopefully before they have to reach that spot. What you need if you're drifting that way or as far gone as I was is a change. No, like honestly, more than that, a clean slate. And if you're watching this and you need that, I'm telling you, you can do this. You can do all of this. We can do it together. It works, and I'm living proof. So let's start right here together. Here's the move, all right? You're gonna learn that rock bottom is not your end. It's your clean slate. I'll teach you 2 pattern interrupts to stop the spiral fast when you're in it. Then a visualization method that ties outcome to process so you can actually take action, take that next step. There's one killer tweak that makes visualization work. Stay for it. Look, rock bottom effing sucks. And I hope I'm hitting you before you hit rock bottom. But the good news is that you're already on your way back up if you've hit it, all right? The rest, all that stuff in between, is just prolonging the inevitable. Rock bottom strips noise. All the excuses, the maybe it'll work out, the fantasy fixes, gone. It's identity death. And while that hurts, and it does, it's gonna sting, it also gives you that clean slate I talked about. Think about what that means for a minute, all right? This is a fresh start effect in real life, a moment that separates old me from the new trajectory that you can go on. Most people try to rebuild the old story. I'm sure you have if you've been there. I did, and that's why they stay stuck though. The thing everyone misses, even after the fact, and I understand that it's hard, okay? But rock bottom isn't a punishment. It's a filter. It removes options you shouldn't have had. So here's the NLP reframe. Rock bottom removes options I shouldn't have had. Repeat that to yourself if you need to. That line changes everything. Instead of the why me that we always ask ourselves, you start to ask, what now? What do I do tomorrow? How do I move forward? The reason this works is it shifts you from helpless narrative that you're stuck, that you can't get out of, to a choice point, all right? So let me show you exactly how to implement it with your language. When you catch catastrophizing, words like always, never, ruined, you swap them for an action question. Given reality, what's the next controllable move? Keep it present tense and keep it tied to your values. I do honest, simple steps today. I want to hear the swap out loud. I want you to hear it out loud, right? So say it out loud. The old, hey, this is the old you. I've blown it. I'm a mess. It's too late. Everything is effed. New, okay, I'm here. Breathe, take a breath. This is my current situation, all right? It's reality. I choose the next clean step. It sounds small, right? But your brain follows the language you feed it day in and day out in every single moment. And if you remember nothing else, remember this. Questions aim your mind. Actions create motion. That all creates momentum in the right direction. Most people mess up because they try to think their way out of shit while their nervous system is in a complete tailspin, and it's freaking impossible. You just go through loop spirals in your brain and you can't get out of them, man. I've been there. I tried to think my way out of ruts and bad situations so many times, and it almost consistently just ended with me rehashing old times, replaying the same shit over and over again, thinking maybe there was a way back, realizing there probably wasn't, playing the blame game on myself, belittling myself, beating myself up, and staring down at the bottom of an empty bottle. But here's what I missed. You need state change first. Pattern interrupt number 1 is physical. Do a 4, 6, 8 breath. Inhale through the nose for 4, hold for 6, exhale through the mouth for 8. 2 to 3 rounds. Feels great. It resets your system. It calms you. This is a great trick to do anytime a stressful situation comes up. Calms the nervous system, all right? Then you add a sharp state change. Shake your arms, clap once, hard, or take a deliberate step forward. Move a little bit. That combo, again, seems small, but it breaks that loop. It breaks that loop you're going. It signals new state now. The reason this works is it resets your physiology, so your thoughts have something stable to land on. Pattern interrupt number 2 is verbal. Use a cue phrase plus a micro command. New pattern now, stand up. Or new pattern now, grab a glass of water and take a few chugs. New pattern now, open your notebook, right? Something physical, short, physical, do it in 10 seconds. The trick is pairing the phrase with a movement so your brain links words to action. Once you nail that, everything else starts to click. Again, small and slowly, but it starts to happen. You're laying the groundwork, right? So let me ground you with this hallway moment I came to. I came to on the carpet, right? Sick, feeling like shit, embarrassed, hating myself, hating my life, hating my ex, and to top it all off, late to my new job that I didn't know if it was working out or not. Everything just seemed lost to me. I could have started spiraling again like I had been. In prior days, I would have. Blame, shame, promises that the next day would be different, but I just need one more day, right? Because the next day was never different though. Instead, this time, interrupt. Cold shower. Was a cold shower. Trash the booze. Text one accountability friend, all right? I'm done. Check me, okay? Walk to the beach, breathe 4, 6, 8 until my hands stopped shaking. And I could clearly see that life, there's something out there. It's not this terrible thing. This is a moment, right? Life is amazing. It's worth living. I could finally think a little bit, right? Then the next clean step, water, eggs, calendar open, one call to work, owning it. Owning it was the hardest step, right? That's always the hardest step. But I did it because I needed to, and you need to. It's not heroic. It's just clean. Look, I called into work, which I never do. I needed the day, not to spiral and stew, because it could have gone down that path, but to do a huge damn pattern interrupt on myself. I wasn't better. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't happen like that, right? I still had issues, but I had reversed course. I was crawling out of that hole for the first time I could say in a while. And just that little bit honestly felt better than I had felt in weeks. And here's what you have to know. That little bit, it seems small, but on your hardest days, doing that little bit is one of the hardest things you'll ever do. So it deserves a pat on the back. That is a great moment of momentum. It's a great moment for you, all right? So it gave me back this little bit of control that I thought I had lost in the chaos and the depression spiral. Now, the common mistakes I made, and you will probably make, don't romanticize pain, all right? Say that to yourself again because it's hugely important. Do not romanticize pain, all right? It's not your brand. Pain isn't a personality or a badge of honor. It's a dashboard light telling you to change the route. Respect the signal. Do not build your identity around it, okay? Also, don't keep telling everyone that same story. That rehearses the problem and gets you back into that funk and back to spiraling. If you're moving on, move the hell on. It doesn't erase it, right? It won't just go away. The pain's going to be there, but it's time for you to tell a different story. To change on the inside, I'm telling you, you also have to change on the outside. It's all connected. Trust me here. Stop telling that story. Tell your new story and go for the shit you've always wanted to go for. Now's the time, all right? That business you always wanted to build, that dream vacation you wanted to take, now's the time, okay? Get that new job, I don't know, start the new career, start that blog you've always wanted to start that YouTube channel you've always wanted to start, go back to school for what you've always wanted. You have a clean slate. Honestly, not many people can say that. Don't wait for motivation. As I said earlier, motivation follows motion. So open that laptop, type the first sentence of that book you wanted to write, put on the shoes and go out for that run you've been promising yourself you're going to do for the last 2 months. All right. But don't try to fix 10 things at once. That's self-sabotage wrapped in productivity. So here's your quick win, a 24-hour reset protocol. Tonight, set sleep, all right? Dark room, phone outside, don't doom scroll, target 7 to 8 hours. Sleep is huge when it comes to these things. So do what you can to get enough, minus the booze, because I know that's helped me get to sleep a time or two, all right? It's not the right kind of sleep. In the morning, 2 glasses of water within 10 minutes. Have one by your bedside, I always do. All right? Then a 15-minute walk outside, no headphones, nature preferably, body of water, some trees, nature, whatever you can. While you run, a couple rounds of 4-6-8 breathing. Take it all in, breathe the fresh air, get some sunlight. Make one honest call or text to someone who needs a real update, not a performance, who knows you, someone you're close to. Then one small task that nudges life forward. Pay a bill, schedule an appointment, clean the sink, send the email that you've avoided. That's it, all right? Close the day with a simple check-in. What was the clean step? What made it easy? We're trying to make this easy to start. So before we continue, I want you to understand the point of all this, all right? The interrupts create this pocket of calm and control, very importantly. Once your nervous system stops spiraling, you're finally able to aim the mind. This is where visualization actually works. And if you've seen any of my other stuff, I love visualization. If you try to visualize from chaos, however, your brain treats it like fantasy. From calm, it becomes a rehearsal. We'll build that next. Outcome to present to process. Run is one loop, all right? So now we want to talk outcome to process visualization. And I want to rip this Band-Aid off. Outcome-only visualization feels great, but it changes nothing, not a damn thing. And the reason is simple. Your brain gets the dopamine, but without the actual reps. Process rehearsal, on the other hand, wires actions and builds identity. Think of your reticular activating system, RAS, you might have heard it as. It's like an executive assistant. It flags what matches your focus. Feed it fantasy, it files it under later. Feed it behaviors, however, it highlights cues that you can use today. You'll start noticing things. So here's the model that I teach and do. Outcome, present, process. One tight loop. 60 seconds on outcome, then snap to what's true now. Then rehearse the next controllable behaviors to get to that outcome. You need that tension, right? Outcome, like here's where you want to be. Snap to what's true now. The path to get where you want to be. Short, specific, and emotionally tied to your values, to my values. So let me show you exactly how for this situation. Have this nice visual here. So outcome, close your eyes and run one scene that matters, right? Where you want to be, make it vivid, but grounded. Not the flex shot right now though, the value shot. If your value is freedom, maybe it's finishing work at noon Friday, phone off, taking your kids for tacos. Look, you can always do more later once you've established this and see how it works, okay? Vivid, all right? I want to, very vivid. Close your eyes, get in almost a meditative trance, right? See the light, hear the ambient noise, feel the relief in your chest, feel anything in your hands, like if you're holding anything. You want to feel that, okay? Use all the senses, okay? 60 seconds max, I say. You can expand on that too, but we're going small here. We want you to get the feeling of it, have a win, all right? Then snap back to present, all right? Ask, what's true and workable right now? Maybe you're in a studio apartment, rent due, shaky, fine. What's the next controllable action before noon? Now the process. Rehearse behaviors, not fantasies. See and feel your feet hit the floor at 6:30. Glass of water down, 2 rounds of 4-6-8. New pattern now, open notebook. Watch yourself block 90 minutes for a deep work task, phone in a different room. See the email you've avoided to get drafted. Feel the discomfort of the tough conversation that you're about to have. Hear yourself speak one honest sentence. Look, these are just a bunch of examples, all right? Make it friction. Like, make it friction light. No perfect setup, just the clean next move. Like I said, visualization is awesome. We can always build off of this. I do 15-minute visualization every morning. Sometimes I do it at night too. So you can always build off of this, and I'll have more stuff on visualization, but topic for another day. The script template here is simple. See outcome, snap to present, rehearse process to outcome. All right? Repeat it twice daily. Morning, 5 minutes, evening, 5 minutes. Pair it with physical and verbal cue from earlier in step 1, right? 1 clap, 4, 6, 8 breath, new pattern now, then run the loop. Keep it so short, it's stupid not to do it. You can't talk yourself out of it. Now, here's where everyone you know gets it wrong. They build fantasy boards, no reps. They do 20-minute meditations that turn into naps. They visualize vague actions like work harder, which your brain can't execute. You need to be specific. Or there's no emotional tie. So it just slides off. There's no emotional tie, like why, right? And finally, they don't track a damn thing. So they don't get the reward of seeing the progress that they're making. Albeit it may be small at first, but it's progress. Progress is progress, all right? Motion equals momentum. So track it. Daily done 3. Write the 3 process reps that you completed, not results, all right? What you did. It feels good. You completed something. You took an action. Woke up at 6:30, 90-minute focus block, no phone, 1 honest call. That's it, right? Check it off. You did some shit today. At the end of the week, review 2 things. Which cue worked best to start and what friction to remove? Maybe the phone on the nightstand kills your morning, so move it, all right? Maybe hard to do at first, but I'm telling you, you'll thank yourself later. Maybe your deep work block collapses at minute 12. Shift it to a time where you're sharper. Some people are sharper in the morning, some in the afternoon, right? Look, during that slump year, after leaving Thailand, which is another story, I left Thailand during COVID. I lost my business, and I tried and failed afterwards to rebuild my business and my life. I wasn't making content. I thought I was done. Making content was where I was making a living, you know? I thought I was done. I had failed. I felt completely stuck, more than stuck, spiraling, telling myself I needed this big, grand plan. What clicked after that second mini rock bottom that I had was the loop that I picked up in Hawaii and learned. Thankfully, I learned it in Hawaii. It just took a little bit for it to come back to me. When sometimes when you're in it that deep and you're in that fog, you can't see everything clearly. Outcome, consistent creator. Friday's free. So here's what I did, right? Present, small apartment, low energy, but it's still me, okay? Process, 1 blog or video outline before 10 a.m. Publish on Friday. 1 pitch email, even if my hands shook while I was doing it and I was nervous. 8 weeks later, momentum. Not overnight, but freaking real momentum, all right? If you remember nothing else, and I know I already said that, but remember this: outcome aims you, process moves you, and present keeps it honest. Run the loop until it feels boring, and then continue to run it every single day. And it sounds lame, but I'm telling you, from the bottom to up top, boring is good. Boring is repeatable. In conclusion here, y'all, thanks for bearing with me on this. This was a deep story for me. So rock bottom is your clean slate. Reframe fast, interrupt the spiral, and run outcome to present to process visualization reps until they become automatic. Want more on how to get out of rock bottom, how to avoid feeling trapped or get out of that stuckness and finding your guiding light, your purpose? I can help. It's what I do. Subscribe and watch my other videos, because I'm telling you, I'm giving you free advice on the weekly to get out of stuck, to get momentum, to start to change your life into a life that you love, a life of purpose. I deserve it. You deserve it. Thanks for watching me today. Have a great day.